Hey guys, what's going on? Steven back again, and I'm back with another video from the Templin Institute. Today's video is about Warhammer Fantasy, because, well, they haven't made any new 40k videos, and I've seen all the others, so what the hell. Plus, I am a fan of fantasy too. Alright, so the topic for today's video is Beastmen Warherds. I did have a unit of Beastmen in my Chaos Army. They were pretty good, pretty fun to use. Alright, here we go. I think I still got some of the models somewhere. Probably downstairs.
Thanks to Creative Assembly for supporting this investigation. Join us on our Twitch channel 1 hour after this episode went live,
the Silence and the
head
Fury.
down the Beast Paths to try out the latest DLC for Total War Warhammer 2, The Silence and the Fury.
The cartographers of the Empire of Man depict the boundaries of its dominions through colourful borders on exquisitely detailed maps. They paint an understanding of a nation whose power and sovereignty extends universally across its lands, over plains, rivers, and forests. Its rule is clearly defined and delineated between various elector counts, dukes, and barons. The empire portrayed on these maps does not exist in reality. There are places in the heart of human civilization where to stray too far beyond the protective watch of city walls, or to take just a few steps off the well-tread paths of the imperial highways, is to enter another realm entirely. Its borders will not be found on any map, but they can be felt. Any traveler who ventures too far from the light of civilization will feel a growing sense of unease that turns to dread before a final realization that they are no longer in the dominions of man, but a kingdom of shadows. The realm of the Beastmen. Twisted beyond recognition by the taint of chaos, a multitude of different creatures and subspecies make up the Beastmen race. These can vary dramatically in size, appearance, and intelligence, but all outwardly resemble a contorted union between primitive man and wild beast. They might have long, rigid horns, the legs of goats, and the heads of oxen or other perverted monsters. Their bodies are grotesquely muscular, and rows of wolf-like fangs sit uneasily within their mouths.
I mean, they were pretty strong in the game, too.
Is not encrusted with blood, excrement,
I mean, the tabletop
filth,
game, not in...
a perfect shelter
they're
for
pretty strong in this game, too, but
of
just saying.
And fleas. While their outward appearance evokes elements of the natural world, Beastmen are the artificial offspring and pawns of the ruinous powers alone. They are wild and crude, driven only by carnal lusts and a deep-seated sense of rage. They are as destructive and unreasoning as a hurricane, and as deadly as a virulent plague. But they exist wholly outside the order of nature. They are compelled to unleash carnage and despair across the world, not in the service of the eternal cycle of life and death, but a malevolent and deliberate need to despoil. Atavistic fury boils in every Beastman, apparent in every gesture, glance, or movement, and only ever a moment away from exploding to the surface.
Gold, shiny stuff.
The influence of chaos has made it such that any sign of civilization is abhorrent to their kind. Gleaming cities, marvels of engineering, great statues and works of art, all the way down to pristine clothing, emblazoned coats of arms, and even bright colors elicit a powerful reaction from Beastmen. They can be overcome with the intense desire to destroy the offending element, stomping it into the mud, tearing it into pieces, or otherwise befouling it. Beastmen lack the ability to create or innovate, but possess a sick and bawdy sense of humor. Any imagination or ingenuity they might possess expresses itself through their atrocities alone.
I'm basically just there to kill.
Are intended for war, crude blades or tattered armor, cobbled together from the spoils of battle. Unlike the other mortal servants of the Chaos Gods, the Beastmen are rarely granted resplendent weapons or ornate armor. Their race belongs entirely to the ruinous powers, and the Dark Gods have no need to bargain with trinkets or promises in exchange for their souls.
Chaos is like, yeah, whatever.
Beastmen are wholly devoted to chaos, but their race is seen as a valuable tool, rather than favored subjects. A beastman who accomplishes terrible deeds in the name of their deity, however, can sometimes earn a physical reward for their service.
No, of
These
course.
gifts usually exaggerate the bestial nature of the recipient. Spectacular twisting horns, razored claws that bleed poison, and if the creature is suitably worthy, sometimes bodies of living flame, new limbs that end in screaming heads, and countless other such mutations.
Wow.
Such gifts are mainly granted to beastmen chieftains.
That
Should
I
a
had
lower-ranking
no idea.
member of the herd be granted such a boon, they would likely take it as a sign they are destined to command and issue a challenge for leadership.
Well, I mean, obviously, Chaos will reward them
Such
if
challenges
they
define what passes
good.
for Beastmen society. They live in savage bands known as Warherds, which might consist of only a few dozen individuals, up to tens of thousands. Violence simmers beneath every internal action and decision, with each beastman seeking out every opportunity to enforce their superiority. Any display of weakness is exploited fully, so that only the bold and cunning might survive.
Well, of course,
Every
makes
beastman
sense.
can challenge their herd's leader or another member at almost any time, either formally or informally. Through this brutal, ever-shifting hierarchy, each warherd is led by the strongest among them.
Kind of like the
Warherd's
orcs.
chieftain is a primitive facsimile of the kings of man. They occupy the apex of tribal authority with the absolute right to command the herd as he sees fit. Known as a beast lord, their supremacy is always tenuous, as commands will only be followed so long as the chieftain has the strength to back them up. Challenges to his power are common, as power-hungry members of the tribe continuously vie for leadership.
Of course, everybody wants to be the,
Chieftains often have
on the
totems as
top.
symbols of their rule, decorated with the hides of defeated challengers. It is inevitable, however, that a younger and stronger beastman will ultimately triumph in his challenge for leadership and hang the former chieftain's hide from his totem. Beneath the chieftain, most herds follow the same loose hierarchy, typically based on racial lines. Gors are the most common breed of beastmen. Large, powerful, and numerous, they form the spine of all the tribes living within the wider world. Gors are larger and more muscular than the lesser beastmen races, and most prominently marked by their imposing horns, a symbol of status within the herd.
Damn, some of these
Gors will
pictures are
often color their
freaky looking
horns
like this
with
thing
dyes
here.
or blood to solidify their displays of
That
rank
looks absolutely
and power.
crazy.
Particularly large or powerful Gors might earn a privileged position within the herd, acquiring the rank of Bestigor. Like the chieftain, however, they will be constantly assailed with challenges for leadership. Directly beneath the Gors are the Ungers, physically smaller than their brethren and less numerous. Their comparatively smaller horns mark them as workers, foot soldiers, and victims humiliated at the whims of their larger cousins. They can never occupy the higher echelons of the tribe, and are forced to endure a life of poverty and misery, low even for the most foul beastmen.
Wow, sucks for them.
Lowest of the beastmen are the Turnskins and
Whoa.
Brays. Turnskins were born fully human, but warped by the ruinous powers, and trapped between the worlds of man and chaos, yet welcome in neither.
I don't remember them.
Brays, by contrast, are simply those born without horns, doomed to suffer no matter how physically strong or cunning they might be. Neither Brays or Turnskins last long within a beastman horde, with even those who have proved their worth cut down by rival aspirants. Sufficiently large beastmen warherds will attract to them, or violently tame, an assortment of other such creatures that lurk within the darkest forests of the world. First among these are minotaurs, enormous bull-headed creatures towering even over the largest Bestigor. These creatures, while technically a breed of beastmen, live a nomadic existence, gathering only with others of their kind and accompanying the largest, most powerful warherds alone. Minotaurs
they always
are
want to be on the
notorious
winning
for their
side.
endless hunger for blood and meat, but overconsumption
Yeah, in
can
Total
trigger
War,
rapid
those things are
growth
insane.
and escalating mutations.
They are
The
really
most terrible
good.
cannibals among the Minotaurs
And
can
then this
grow
thing.
as large as giants and extrude additional limbs, becoming a huge, twisted creature known as a Gorgon. Warhounds, Harpies, Chaos Spawn, and Jabberslythes, together with other breeds of beastmen, can sometimes be found within larger herds. These are as much a danger to the Beastmen themselves as any the herd would loose these creatures upon. It is through the iron will of a beast lord alone that such a diverse collection of creatures might be commanded. Warherds do not conquer territory as men or dwarfs do, for they consider all the world to be their kingdom and hunting ground. They typically dwell within the deepest forests, but rarely stay in one location for long.
Gotta be careful of the wood elves.
Often nothing more than a raging pyre, surrounded by rough pelt barriers. From here they launch raids into surrounding areas, before returning to conduct bloodthirsty celebrations. When the hunt grows dry, they move from one territory to the next through a vast network of ancient trails, known as the Beast Paths. Together, these form a spiderweb of paths that only the Beastmen can truly navigate. They intertwine with all the lands of the civilized races, but are so overgrown that even those who seek them out might never find them, save by chance. Where the beast paths intersect with one another is usually in places of magical significance or sites with some meaning to the dark powers.
Oh, interesting.
Here, dire and forbidding headstones are erected, to which warherds offer tributes and sacrifices. These are places of great significance to the Beastmen. Any intrusion within 100 leagues of a herdstone would be immediately assaulted, and no settlement within that perimeter would last longer than a single season. When Beastmen are called to war, enormous pyres are lit at the base of headstones, imbued with magical effects that cast long tendrils of coloured smoke over the forest.
So if you go after one of those things, you better go
are indecipherable,
all
with
out
seemingly
after
random
it.
changes in direction and abrupt starts and stops. Sometimes, however, the movements of wholly separate Beastmen herds hint at the presence of some grand pattern, a plan guiding the movements
There's the
of
cover art
entire
for the
race.
old Armoury Book right there.
This plan might emanate from a place the Beastmen refer to as the Heart of the Dark. Its exact location is never spoken of, but many Beastmen undertake a kind of pilgrimage, following the secret paths of the Beastways until they reach their destination. The largest herdstone is said to stand here, its base overgrown with twisting roots and tunnels inhabited by Beastmen, but also other nameless things. Hideous rituals are performed here, sacrifices said to renew and empower the entire Beastman race. How such a race came to inhabit the world is a story known only to those who have studied the deepest secrets of existence. Legends tell of an elder race named the Old Ones, who shaped the world in a way that was pleasing to them and to the needs of some great plan. An immense forgotten tragedy shattered their work and unleashed the forces of chaos upon the world. Every
What
continent
tragedy?
bled like a wounded beast as the skies rained fire and the seas boiled. The most devastated regions became strange and terrible cauldrons from which spewed forth generation after generation of mutant men and beasts.
Oh, wow.
Even as the world slowly
So
healed
that's how
from
the
such an
Beastmen
onslaught
came.
and the primitive races raised by the Old Ones founded their civilizations, tribes of these beastmen and their night-bred kin ruled the lands of what is today the Empire. But the arrival of a man wielding a golden hammer ended the unchallenged rule of the Beastmen, driving them back into the deepest forests. This age today is remembered by all Beastmen, who long for a return to that primeval era where man was little more than food, and they were the undisputed masters of the world. The Beastmen have no
My,
method
how
of
the
marking the
tables have
passage of
flipped.
years or the changing of one era to the next, but they know that through industry and organization, the Empire of Man has pushed them ever deeper into the wilderness. Great imperial bastions and watchtowers are built even in the heart of the Beastmen's territory, but every warherd is united in the belief that these are but temporary, and an age will surely come when they are cast down. Only when the last of these are destroyed will the world finally again belong to the Beastmen, and its lands home to nothing but the endless hunt.
Damn. Just imagine if all the warherds just came together.
The Templin
be
Institute
interesting.
investigates the nations, factions, and organizations.
Okay, so there we go. Beastmen Warherds. That was pretty cool, pretty interesting. I mean, I didn't know too much about Beastmen before, but yeah, I mean, that was really interesting. Like I said, I had a small unit. Yeah, I took a small unit of gores and stuff like that for my army, just to, kind of fill it out. If I was playing bigger battles, like 2,500, 3,000 points or stuff like that. I'd use some Beastmen, stuff like that, because they weren't too expensive, if I remember correctly. Just so I had more models on my tables, because before, on the table, because before all I would do was just kind of like deck everything out. I had no problem, getting up to like 2,500, 3,000 points, but I didn't have many models. The models I did have, though, were heavily, like Chaos Warriors, Chosen Chaos Warriors, Mark of whatever, and they had all sorts of other, anything I could give them, I could deck them out. They could be, I don't even remember what Chaos, I don't have my Armoury Book anywhere. I don't remember what, Chaos Warriors base points was. I think it was like maybe 18, 20 points a model or something like that. I don't remember. And then, of course, if you make them chosen, that's like another 5 points a model. And then you give them a mark of one of the Chaos Gods, that's like another 3 or so points. Give them an extra hand weapon, that was like another point. So, I could get the models up very expensive. I wouldn't have many, I could take a unit of, 20 chosen Chaos Warriors, Mark of Corn, extra hand weapons. They could be like, 20-something points a model. So, it's just no problem, unit 20, that's a couple hundred points right there. But, at least taking some Beastmen and stuff like that, they weren't too expensive. So at least they gave me, like, some more models to use instead of, all right, cool, 3,000 points, here's like my 4 units I have, and that's it, So, but yeah, that was pretty interesting. I wonder if, let's see, let's go on to Games Workshop real quick. Are there still, like, Beastmen still around, or what? Because I'm not sure. Let's bring this over here. There we go. All right, Games Workshop. There we go. Yeah, because I've never played Age of Sigmar, so I don't know how anything works. I don't really know the lore or anything like that. See, I don't know. Fantasy is so confusing now. Like, I have no idea how, like, any of this stuff works. Grand Alliance Chaos. So does that mean I can take anything from here? Or are there still, like, separate armies, like Empire, Dwarves, High Elves, such and such, you know what I mean? Or can I take, like, a mishmash of, like, army, like, my HQ is, like, an Empire Lord, but I've got a unit of Dwarf Firebreakers, you know what I mean? And how's that work? Ogre Mod Tribes? What the... Okay, so that's Ogre Kingdoms. Okay, so Ogre Kingdoms is still around. Okay, that's pretty cool. Ogres were fun. They were very fun. Iron Guts, Lead Belchers, yeah, they were pretty damn good. The bull charge and everything like that. I think you had to be at least 6 inches away from a charge to get the bull charge, and then he took a wound. I don't know what the hell, like, any of this is. Sons of Trolls? So what, you can take an army of trolls? I mean, there's only 3. 4 if you count him. See, I don't get, like... I miss old fantasy. You know, a lot of stuff. Beast of Chaos, Nurgle, Slaves of Darkness, Lanesh. So there's Skaven. So Skaven's under Chaos? Huh. Okay, Great Bray Shaman. Okay, here we go. So we are finding Beastmen. Okay, Race Warherds. Okay, Ungor Raiders, Bestigors, the Chariots, Sangors, Gors. So, that's it for Beastmen? So is Beastmen like an army anymore, or do you just like take them with whatever? Because I don't see like no Doom Bulls. I don't see any of those big forearm creature things. What is it, Kazakh One Eye? We're not around anymore. Was it Brass Bull? Not here anymore. So are Beastmen still an army? You just take them in an army? What the hell are these things? Those just kind of look like Tzeentch demons. I don't know. See, everything is so weird. I mean, they do look pretty damn badass. I mean, they do look really cool. Like, I like that blade. That sword looks really damn cool. But see, I think that's why I don't know. I don't really know what to say. I mean, I guess this is why probably 40K, I think 40K is their bigger game. You know, because I mean, not much. I mean, things have obviously changed in 40K, but not like in Warhammer Fantasy to Age of Sigmar. You know, because I mean, I did Warhammer Fantasy, so I'm used to rank and file troops, you know, unit behind unit behind unit. You know, that was your formation, the standard bearer, the musician, and stuff like that. So I'm used to that. This stuff here just seems totally different. Every single army had like their own army book. You know, Beastmen had an army book, Empire, High Elves, Dwarves, Dark Elves, Ogres, Vampire Counts, you know, Chaos. And now I don't know, is it just like I can just take whatever I want as an army, you know? Like, alright, I play Grand Alliance of Chaos, so I could just take whatever the hell I want from here, from whatever's under Grand Alliance of Chaos? Like, is it the same for, what is it, Grand Alliance Order? I mean, it says all armies of order, so can I just, like, I want to take him, you know, I want some of these guys in my army. Oh, I want a Stegodon in my army. Can I do, like, stuff like that? Like, how does this work? Like, Marathi? Really? Marathi is order? Okay. I mean, that model does look, actually, both these models actually look pretty damn sick. Those wings look really damn cool. But she's Grand Alliance Order? Okay. That's... Huh. Hag Queen on Cauldron of Blood. So, Dark Elves are good guys now? Okay. See, so that's why if I was ever to play again, I'd probably just play 40K. You know, because this just seems so confusing and stuff like that. Sisters of Slaughter? Really? I mean, I'm sure, once you start playing Age of Sigmar and stuff like that, you get used to it, and stuff, but, it's just so strange seeing High Elves and Dark Elves under Grand Alliance of Order. And Wood Elves. Well, it is what it is. I hear they are doing Fantasy Old World again or something like that. I don't know. I heard something about that. Something more news is coming eventually or something like that. I guess they're supposedly going back to Old World, and I guess some armies are coming back, because I guess some armies aren't there anymore. Like Tomb Kings are gone. I didn't see any Bretonnians, so are they wiped out too? But I guess when they're going back to the Old World, I guess some of the armies and stuff that didn't have armies or army books are now getting army books, like Kislev and stuff like that, or apparently getting an army and an army book. So I mean, it's kind of cool and stuff like that. We'll have to wait and see, because I haven't heard any more information. But yeah, who knows? All right, so anyways, there we go. Beastmen Warherds. That was pretty cool, learning more about the Beastmen and stuff like that. I have been enjoying playing them in Total War Warhammer 2. They're pretty fun. Like I said, the Doom Bulls, they are really good. I take a unit or two of those and they just clean house, basically. But yeah, I did know about, them going to Chaos and serving Chaos and stuff like that, and Chaos granting them powers. Although I didn't know about the dripping poison claws and stuff like that. It's pretty cool. But yeah, so anyways, there we go. Beastmen Warherds. That was awesome. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, hit that thumbs up button. That'd be awesome. Remember, feel free to subscribe to my channel. Follow me on social media. Links are in the description box below. And of course, leave me all your thoughts and comments. What do you guys think about Age of Sigmar? Do you like it? Do you not like it? Is it as confusing as it kind of seems? Or is it something, once you start playing it, you're used to it? And, how does it work with, the armies and stuff? Can I take, a little bit of everything? Or is it still no, you have to take, dwarves. You have to take just dwarves. You can't, no dwarves and wood elves. You know what I mean? Let me know, because I'm curious. And other than that, yeah, if you guys have any other videos you want me to check out, I will be checking back on Templin Institute to see if they, put anything new up, any new 40K. I'll check back on some fantasy ones, because I really haven't done really many of the fantasy ones, so I might have to do some of those, because those are fun and stuff like that. So anyways, other than that, just stick around. More videos are on the way, and I will see you guys next time.